What's up guys, my name is Ace, and today we're going to be talking about a very controversial Call of Duty topic, and this is quickscoping. And I specifically wanted to hone in on what my hopes are when it comes to quickscoping for Modern Warfare 2's multiplayer. Now of course at this point we don't know exactly how they're going to be balancing sniper rifles or what their general philosophy is surrounding this. So I am just going to be sharing my thoughts and my hopes and my opinions on quickscoping, and if you disagree, which I'm sure many of you will, that's totally fine. Please let me know why in the comment section down below. All I ask is that you keep things at least reasonably respectful down there. And starting this off, I do want to share my general thoughts on quickscoping within Call of Duty, just so you know where I'm coming from, where my biases are as we're going through this. For me, I am not much of a sniper or quickscoper in Call of Duty games, however, I do enjoy dabbling with it. And in my opinion, quickscoping in Call of Duty should be a viable option, but I definitely prefer it when quickscoping is difficult to perform consistently well with. Something that the average player can't just pick up and start getting consistent kills with, more so something that takes potentially hundreds of hours to really get a good handle on and master in multiplayer. Additionally, when it comes to quickscoping, I think it's very important to have proper trade-offs and counterplay to a quickscoper. And that's the hardest part to balance, and I feel like something that Call of Duty really struggles with year after year. And it seems like they try different things different years, and we typically end up seeing either quickscoping being too powerful and annoying to the point where it turns a lot of regular players away from the game, or it ends up on the flip side to where quickscoping just isn't a viable playstyle at all, and therefore the entire quickscoping community is kind of screwed. So I feel like I'm kind of in the middle here. I do think quickscoping is important in Call of Duty because Call of Duty maps, at least the 6v6 version of maps, they typically don't really allow for traditional sniping to be a super viable playstyle. Like maybe some maps here or there you can definitely snipe with, but then with many other maps it's just not viable at all as a playstyle. So therefore I feel it is important for sniper rifles to have some utility on any map in the game. Additionally, I feel like quickscoping offers a very unique playstyle that really provides an extra layer of depth and variety to the game, and that is important. It's kind of boring if everybody out there is just rocking an SMG and an assault rifle, which is what the vast majority of players are going to use, and it can be a really nice change of pace to hop into a match and try some quickscoping out and try doing something totally different where it's really high risk, high reward. Additionally, the way I see it, quickscoping is part of the DNA of Call of Duty at this point. It's been around forever in Call of Duty, and it's even gotten to the point where there's quite a large sub-community within the Call of Duty community that identify as quickscopers. And I don't feel like that entire community should be shunned by effectively just eliminating the possibility of quickscoping effectively. At the same time, though, I have been talking very positively about it, kind of all the arguments in favor of quickscoping. I'm not 100% on the side of quickscopers, and I don't like quickscoping being too powerful, because it can be very frustrating and jarring to die to a quickscoper. I hate dying to a quickscoper, especially after punching a bunch of rounds into them. I absolutely hate getting quickscoped in those situations. And I do feel that if I'm playing to the intended strength of my gun, like an SMG for instance, I'm playing up close and personal as I should be with my SMG. If I come up against a quickscoper face to face, all else equal, we both see each other and react at the same time, I do feel like as that SMG player that is playing to the intended strength of my gun, I should have the clear advantage over the sniper in that situation. So I don't want to see a situation like that where if he hits his shot, he wins. If he misses, I lose, regardless of what I'm doing or how many times I shot him before he hit his shot. Instead, I feel like I should be the one that has the odds stacked in my favor. Now, another big argument against quickscoping that I do see pop up a lot, especially after the launch of Modern Warfare 2019, because that brought over a bunch of a certain type of player that traditionally doesn't really like Call of Duty. Many people will say quickscoping isn't realistic and therefore it shouldn't be in the game. And for me, at least within the context of Call of Duty, solid gameplay design and fun should always trump realism. There are plenty of milsim style shooters out there. Call of Duty isn't one of them. And therefore the it's not realistic argument, I don't think holds much weight within the Call of Duty franchise. Of course, you are welcome to have that opinion. I just disagree with it completely within the context of COD. So with all of that out of the way, let's get into my big hope for how they balance quickscoping and sniping in general in Modern Warfare 2. And the idea of this is actually going back to a media presentation I attended just before the first reveal trailer for the game. And during this presentation, we learned about a new system they're implementing to the gunsmith, where you have the ability to tune individual attachments. And with that, we have sliders where there is an obvious trade-off. And the image that they showed us, which this is a mock-up of, this isn't the actual image, it's not the style of it, but it is the layout that we saw. With this barrel on a full auto gun that they showed us, you could tune it so the heavier you go with the barrel, the better recoil control you get, but the worse aim down sight time you get. And then you also had a slider for the length of your barrel. Having a longer barrel would give you a better aim walking movement speed, whereas having a shorter barrel would give you better aiming stability. And when I was thinking about this and how I'd like to see this applied to sniper rifles, I would love to see aim down sight time and flinch on the opposite ends of the spectrum. So if you want a fast aim down sight time, you're going to experience a lot of flinch when you get shot by enemy players. Whereas on the flip side of that, I'd be totally fine with a sniper rifle having essentially zero flinch when shot, as long as their aim down sight time is very slow, and therefore they can't really viably quickscope with that setup. This inverse relationship, I feel, is the perfect trade-off and provides the perfect counterplay to a quickscoper, and it's far better than the trade-offs that we saw in Modern Warfare 2019, where typically we'd see that inverse relationship between aim down sight time and bullet velocity, or recoil control, or aiming stability, which when it comes to 6v6 multiplayer at least, none of those downsides really matter all that much, and therefore it's just the obvious choice to go with the fastest aim down sight speed possible. And there isn't much trade-off to getting that best aim down sight speed possible. Now, the reason I feel like this trade-off between flinch and aim down sight time would be perfect for Call of Duty is I don't mind dying to a quickscoper if I'm taken off guard by that quickscoper. If they were better prepared for that situation than I was, and they managed to get their shot off before I can even land a bullet on them, then in that case, fair play, nice shot, good job, I deserve to lose that fight. I probably would have lost that fight against a full auto gun anyway. Whereas the thing I hate the most when it comes to quickscopers in Call of Duty, I can't stand pumping a bunch of shots into a sniper only to have them still hit their shot with ease, and therefore those shots that I put into them didn't really have any impact on the outcome of that fight. There's not really any counterplay there, and I just feel helpless in those situations, especially when it happens on a consistent basis. If it's the odd lucky shot here or there, fine, I can live with that, no big deal. But when it's happening consistently, like many of us saw a lot in Cold War throughout a good portion of its life cycle before the flinch nerf, that part really annoys me with sniper rifles. So with this trade-off, it could potentially allow snipers to have quite a fast aim down sight time. Of course, there still needs to be proper limits around that, and that does need to be balanced properly. But I don't mind if a sniper goes for the maximum aim down sight build, and they can aim down sight reasonably quickly, but if I start landing some shots on them, they're going to have a very hard time consistently landing that bullet on me, and I feel like the bullets that I'm putting into that fight actually mean something and matter. Additionally, with this trade-off, I feel like quickscoping would once again become one of those higher skilled things that takes a lot of practice to really master, because then, even though you get the ability to have a fast aim down sight time, you have to be very conscious about receiving damage from enemy players, and you've got to make sure you're taking people off guard and playing your situations really well. And with that, that's everything that I wanted to cover in today's video. Just an idea that I had surrounding snipers and how I feel this could potentially balance quickscoping a lot better than we've seen in many other Call of Duty games. Of course, this is where I want to hear from you guys though, in those comments down below. First up, what are your thoughts on quickscoping in Call of Duty? Do you think quickscoping should be a thing? Do you think it should be viable? Do you think it should be a very powerful playstyle? Or do you think it should not exist at all or be something that's extremely difficult to do? And then on top of that, I'd like to hear what you guys think about my suggestion of having aim down sight time and flinch on the opposite ends of the spectrum. Do you think this is a good way to balance quickscoping and provide some better counterplay to quickscoping, or do you not like this idea? And if so, please let me know why. If you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated, and don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.